Our thoughts are electrical patterns that move through our neural pathways in the most efficient way possible. Due to habit and established patterns, the brain will think the same thought again and again in an effortless way. Creating new thought patterns takes a little effort and must be implemented in a very deliberate manner to change the patterns that are already recognized and accepted. The brain is an autopilot mechanism, and we have thoughts all day long, usually without consciously thinking about the nature of them. These thoughts create visualizations that keep us rooted in a world of our own creation. Sometimes they include our fears and regrets, which keep us stuck in a pattern of stress or depressed states. The stronger the emotions that coincide with specific thoughts, the more established beliefs become regarding the subject of them. Everything encountered is then filtered through those beliefs and creates what we perceive as our reality. However, there is a place within each person where thoughts hold no dominion. Think of your mind like the ocean. On the surface, there are waves that move consistently, and these are representative of the thoughts you hold. But miles below these waves, there is calm and stillness. Beneath the movement of the thoughts, there is perfect quietude and tranquility, a place that is free of disturbances. This place is just as much a part of our nature as the thoughts and beliefs we hold. We all experience this inner peace occasionally, usually while doing our favorite things, such as eating food we enjoy, listening to the rhythm of a favorite song, treating ourselves to a massage, or gathering with our friends and family. This inner part of us is what relieves our stress, centers us in the now moment, and makes us feel alive. We only perceive it as coming from outside experiences, but this calmness is always within us and experienced in a very internal manner. Negative thinking is simply a pattern that is developed. It is not the real self. However, through enough of any type of thinking, those thoughts turn into beliefs and become the lens through which we interpret the world around us. Additionally, the mind searches for ways to validate our beliefs about ourselves and the world we live in, even if those beliefs aren't aligned with who we really are. If you believe you will never have the body you want, or become rich, or find the right relationship, then you will find support for such beliefs. All beliefs are self-reinforcing. We frequently notice and remember the details that confirm our beliefs and reject anything that doesn't match them. This is known as confirmation bias fallacy, which is the tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs. Most all beliefs operate within this very structure and create the default way of perceiving the world, whether it be in a favorable way or not. To avoid the trap of reinforcing negative thoughts that become beliefs, it's important to get back to that still, calm part of you that isn't attached to them. The first step to changing your thinking is to become the observer. When changing your thought patterns, and therefore your beliefs, begin by accepting that your mind may experience thoughts that correspond to negative realities, rather than resisting these thoughts. Don't pass judgments on them or react to them. Don't approve or disapprove of them. Simply watch them enter your mind from the standpoint of the inner self that is not connected, and then watch them leave on their own without resisting them. One simple way to do this is by thinking of each negative thought as an arrow. On release, an arrow accelerates at maximum speed, which can be compared to a rush of negative thoughts in the mind. However, the acceleration eventually decreases, and generally quite quickly, causing the arrow to fall to the ground with no further energy or momentum. This is how our thoughts work too. When a negative thought enters your mind, envision that it is one of these arrows, and simply observe it losing its momentum within a few moments and disappearing. These thoughts can be stripped of their strength without any more energy added to their movement within the mind. If the thought persists in its momentum, imagine yourself pulling the thought arrow back on a bow and releasing it into the universe for it to live out what life it still has in it on another plane of existence. Another way to simply observe thoughts that you no longer wish to entertain is by dissolving your attachment to them. Begin to see your negative thoughts as separate from you and articulate them as such. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious, simply say to yourself, "I am having the thought that I am overwhelmed and anxious." Or, "My mind is telling me that I am overwhelmed and anxious." This type of statement shifts the mind in such a way that it disidentifies the self from the thoughts and gives you back the power they once appeared to have. It allows you to choose how to experience the negative thought and influence how proactive you want to be. And most often, once this takes place, the feeling states that are attached to those thoughts will diminish too. You are not the voice of your mind, you are the one who hears it. Whatever thoughts or feelings show up for you in any given moment, they cannot define or control you unless you allow them to. By simply noticing the thoughts that enter your mind, you become the observer of them rather than a product of them. If we are self-aware and mindful of our thoughts, we can then exercise the power we choose to give them. They are like clouds in the sky. They show up, float around for a while, and then dissipate. It's up to you to choose if you want to get entangled in them or let them go.